You deleted something you needed, or a drive that worked yesterday is suddenly empty. That sinking feeling is why you searched for the best data recovery software, and it is why you are here right now. So let's rank the top 10. 10 real tools counted down from number 10 to number 1. Here is what I promise you. For each one, I will tell you what it actually does, what makes it different from the 9 others, whether it is free or paid, and what real users report after they paid. Not a list of names with check marks next to them. And number 1 is not the cheapest option on this list. It is also not the one with the biggest advertising budget. First, what this category actually is. Data recovery software reads a drive at a level your file explorer never touches. When you delete a file, the drive does not scrub it. It just marks that space as free. The file sits there, invisible, until something writes over it. These tools go looking for what is still sitting in that space. That one sentence explains everything else in this video. Before you install any of these, 3 things decide whether you get your files back. They matter more than which tool you pick. The first one is simple. Stop using that drive. Every second it stays in use, your computer may be writing over the exact thing you want. If it is an external drive, unplug it. If it is your main drive, shut the machine down. I am not being dramatic here. Stellar, one of the companies coming up later in this list, runs that exact warning across the top of its own homepage. Continued device use can overwrite lost data. They are not wrong. Second, recover to a different drive. Never the one you are recovering from. Pulling files back onto the same drive can overwrite the files you have not rescued yet. So you need somewhere else to put them, even a cheap USB stick. Third, and this is the one nobody tells you, solid-state drives are different. Your SSD runs a command called trim, and trim wipes deleted blocks so the drive stays fast. Once it has run, those files are gone. Not gone for software, gone for a professional lab too. Software recovery on an SSD only works on a very fresh deletion, before trim has caught up. And if a drive is clicking, or your machine cannot see it at all, that is a hardware problem. No download on this list fixes hardware. Alright, number 10, Windows File Recovery from Microsoft. Free, and if you are on Windows 10 or 11, you can install it from the Microsoft Store in about a minute. Here is the honest picture. There is no window, no buttons, no preview. You type a command into a terminal and it goes to work. It has 2 modes, regular for a quick pass on NTFS drives and extensive for everything else. That sounds intimidating, and for most people it is, but it is free. It comes from Microsoft rather than a company you have never heard of, and it costs you nothing to try before you spend a penny anywhere else. So if you are comfortable typing a command, start here. It might just end your search. Number 9, Recuva. Recuva has been the quiet answer to this problem for years, and it still is. It is free, it is Windows only, and it does one job well. You point it at a drive, it lists what it finds, and a colored dot tells you how likely each file is to come back intact. That last part is genuinely useful. Most tools hand you a wall of file names and let you guess. Where it stops is depth. On a badly damaged drive, or a drive that was reformatted, the newer engines further up this list will find things Recuva walks past. So for a file you deleted this week off a drive that still works normally, Recuva is often all you need. Number 8, Minitool Power Data Recovery. Minitool built its name on partition tools, and it shows here in a good way. This one is comfortable with the messier situations. A partition that vanished. A drive Windows now calls raw and offers to format for you. It has a free tier, so you can scan and see exactly what is sitting on that drive before deciding anything. The paid version is where the recovery limit comes off. The catch is reach. It is built around Windows, so if you are on a Mac, this is not your tool. So if a partition disappeared and you want to see what survived before you spend anything, Minitool answers that question quickly. Number 7, Wondershare Recover It. Recover It's real strength is breadth. It supports an enormous list of file types, which matters if you shoot photos or video. It also carries a repair function for video files that come back damaged, and that is a genuinely different feature. A recovered clip that will not play is a problem most of this list ignores. It is polished, it walks you through the process, and if your loss is a card full of footage, it deserves a look. Now the honest part. Users on review sites consistently report two frictions. Refunds take real effort, with documentation requested and support escalation required first. And some buyers did not register that they were signing up to something that renews. If you buy it, check what you are agreeing to at the checkout. So Recover It fits the person recovering media, as long as you go in with your eyes open on billing. Number 6. Test Disk and PhotoRec. These two come as a pair, they are open source, and they are completely free. No tier, no limit, no upsell. They run on Windows, Mac and Linux, which no paid tool on this list can match. Test Disk repairs broken partition tables and can make a drive bootable again. PhotoRec ignores the file system entirely and carves files straight out of the raw data, which is why it still works on a drive that everything else has given up on. The trade is real, and you should know it before you start. PhotoRec gives you back the contents of your files, but not their names or their folders. So you may recover 4,000 photos into one flat pile. That is a tedious afternoon. It is also 4,000 photos you thought were gone. Number 5. DMDE. DMDE is the one enthusiasts recommend to each other, and almost nobody advertises. It is inexpensive, its license is a one-time purchase rather than a subscription, and it punches far above what the price suggests. It finds partitions others miss, and it gives you direct control over what it does. There is a free version too, with a limit on how many files you pull from each folder. The interface looks like it was designed by an engineer, because it was. Nothing here holds your hand. So if the friendly tools came back empty and you are willing to read a manual, DMDE is worth the 20 minutes. Number 4. RStudio. RStudio is what you reach for when the situation is genuinely hard. Rebuilding a RAID array, recovering across a network, working on a drive so damaged you need to image it first and pick through the copy. It handles Windows, Mac and Linux file systems, and it goes deeper than anything above it on this list. It is also the least beginner-friendly thing here, and it is priced for professionals. If your problem is a folder you deleted on Tuesday, this is far more tool than you need. But if a technician is going to look at your drive anyway, this is probably what they will open. Number 3. Stellar Data Recovery. Stellar's advantage is the size of its net. It recognizes a huge library of file types and lets you narrow a search precisely, which turns a scan of a large drive from a wall of noise into something you can actually read. It handles the awkward cases well too, including drives that will not boot, and the higher tiers repair damaged photos and video. That tier ladder is the thing to watch. The basic version covers deleted files, and the features people often assume are included, like recovering from a dead system, sit further up the price list. Read the tier table before you buy, not after. So if you want control over a big, messy search, Stellar gives you more of it than anything below. Number 2. EaseUS Data Recovery Wizard. If you are not technical and you just want your files back, this is the smoothest path on the list. Scan, preview what it found, tick the boxes, restore. There is nothing to learn. It also has one of the most generous free allowances here, so you can recover a real amount of data before deciding whether to pay. On Trustpilot, it holds a 4.9 out of 5, across roughly 39,000 reviews, which is a lot of people saying it worked. So credit where it is due. The criticism that does come up is consistent, and it is about billing rather than recovery. Buyers report licenses that renewed when they thought they had bought once, and refund requests that got pushed back rather than approved. So EaseUS is the right pick for a straightforward loss and a non-technical user. Just buy it deliberately and check the renewal terms. Which brings us to number 1, Disk Drill. Disk Drill wins because it is the most complete answer for the person this video is actually for. It runs on both Windows and Mac. It handles the ordinary case, a deleted folder, as easily as the ugly one, a card that got formatted. It also does things the others do not. It can make a byte-level image of a failing drive so you work on a copy instead of stressing the original, which is exactly what a professional would do. It watches drive health so you get a warning before the next failure. And it can preview what it found before you spend anything, so you know your files are there. Now the caveat, because it matters. The complaints that follow Disk Drill around are about price and refunds, not about whether it finds files. You scan for free, you see your files sitting right there, and only then do you meet the price tag. That is a rough moment. Users also reported struggling on SSDs, which is the trim ceiling from earlier, and no tool on this list escapes that one. That paywall pattern is worth naming because it is the whole industry. Almost every paid tool here scans free and charges before it will write your files back. That is not a trick, it is just how this market works, and knowing it going in means the price does not blindside you at the worst moment. So here is where it lands. Disk Drill is the one I would put in front of most people, because it covers the most ground on both platforms and it protects the drive while it works. Before that though, run the free ones. Windows File Recovery, Recuva and Photorec cost nothing, and if your file comes back from one of those, you are done. I've put links to everything in the description. Some of them are affiliate links, so I get a small commission if you use them, at no extra cost to you. Now I want to know which one surprised you most. Tell me in the comments, and if you have ever actually got a drive back from the dead, I would love to hear what pulled it off.